Good.
Okay, I want to go ahead and call to order the March 15th, 2022 Community Redevelopment Advisory Committee meeting. Arthur, will you please give us a roll call?
Ms. Decker?
Here.
Ms. Hires? Ms. Janet Moses? Ms. Melinda Moses?
Here.
Ms. Spivey? Mayor Witt?
Here.
Mr. Jefferson?
Here.
Mr. Dial?
Here.
Mr. Coverland?
Here.
Okay. We have agenda before us, so can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second. We have a motion and a second for approval of the agenda. All in favor of the motion, let's receive it by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, a like sign. The minutes we have included as well. Minutes from our February 8th, 2022 meeting. Could I have a motion for approval? Accept the minutes.
Mr. Jefferson,
Yes.
before we approve the minutes, I'd like to ask a couple of questions. I missed the last meeting. There were some things motioned on the last meeting, Mrs. Moses, about $150,000 that was owed to the city by
TDC.
Tourist Development. Did we check on that? Did we get any conclusion or information about that?
I haven't gotten any feedback on that.
On the TDC, I talked to Paula and she said that they had it in their budget, but they wouldn't give it out till we did the work. And then they took it out, but they still have it.
So it's still there.
Yeah. And I've got a meeting with them tomorrow, so I'll follow up too with it.
The eminent domain with the park, the property, Salajary Park, that property that was supposed to be investigated for eminent domain. We're gonna implement that.
I think we
I
did.
think we made a motion in council meeting to move forward with that.
Very good. That's all my questions from the last meeting.
Okay. Have a motion to approve the minutes.
Also move.
Okay.
Have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. All in favor, saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Okay. Any public comments from the public? Hearing none, we're going to move to the updates, discussions, and action items. And the first item being Sally Mae Jarrett's Park signs. Who would be like to speak to that?
I ain't never heard nothing else on that digital sign from y'all saying it was okay, but I know the prices, I got an email a couple weeks ago that price increased on it quite a bit.
You got a notice of a price increase?
Yep.
How much more it is to be expected?
We'd have to, they said they'd have to recalculate it all back out. It said it's, our quote was out of date now and submit it.
What was it before?
I think 42.
It was something pretty close, 50,000, I recall.
I don't have no paperwork with me on
That was, if I recall correctly, for the digital
Yes,
sign,
that was
the message board.
two-sided digital sign. Also the capabilities for IT to be able to program it from where they're at and the training and then the maintenance on it.
I think it's gonna be on our CRA next Tuesday night. So I guess we need kind of a number by then, we can get it.
Yeah, I didn't talk to the guy about the price increase because nobody said anything more about
Right.
it going toward.
Well, we just don't know. I feel confident it's going to be in excess of 50,000 because we went from starting out around 10, now we're at 40 something.
I said, now keep in mind that sign right there is one of the elite signs. You can have him go down a couple tiers and, take some of that out of there. So that was just a sign that was quoted at the time of Thomas was in charge of it, it's the same sign, just put up in the air. But you can bring it back a little bit off for a sign and the size and drop the price down quite a bit.
I know that,
So what you're saying that the size of the sign could be,
Yeah, they can change the sign and the different in the LEDs. That was, a lot brighter sign. It does a lot more. If you don't want as many tables, as they call them, on there to text on, you can bring that back. There's a couple scenarios on there that you can do. Like I said, the sky's the limit on it.
Mhm.
First one they quoted me was 100,000.
Right.
Mr. Chairman, I know
Go ahead, Ms. Moses.
I talked to, because I'm personally against spending that much money on digital sign, but I talked to the people at the high school. I think we talked about that last time, that, their small one, just that small was between 10 and 20.
The one that's at the high school.
Mhm. It's just a small, they're not a lot of bells and whistles. It's just
Well,
an LED
and
sign.
that's the same thing I've been saying. You can get one like at the foot that we installed at the baseball field years ago. It just has writing on it, but it's one color red. That's it. I was told I wanted a sign that was bright, did this, did that, and like I said, it's capable for IT to program it from their offices. And this sign right here, everybody takes parts and materials for them if you need them. There's a local sign company that works on them. A lot of other signs that you put in are throwaway signs. When something happens to them, where a LED bulb goes out, you just throw $10,000 to $12,000 in the trash. Like I said, there's different options. You can bring it back a long way to the, like Ms. Moses said, to the $10,000 or $12,000. That was just what sign was quoted at the time. All I did was have it put in the air and had a pole cover put on.
Well, I'm definitely not in favor of spending $50,000 in the sign for the purpose that said that we want to use that sign for. That's a lot of money, I think, for a signage. We can possibly look at other options.
Like I said, there's plenty of options out there. You can get them. I've seen them signs in it around $2,300-$2,400 for a digital sign. It's just, what parameters you want to go through to work on it, what you want to do with it. So how much you want to spend, I'll keep it below that.
There's another one too that's even a little bit bigger than the one that's at the high school. It's at Westside Elementary. And I think Action Signs and Graphics did that one as well. And I was on the PTO there, and I think that one was about 25. And it, like, people can write birthday messages on it. Like, you can do different things. You can do different colors. I'm not sure if it's LED, but looks good. It's
Like I
big.
said, the Action Sign is one originally quoted this sign. It's the sign that's, they recommended too. Like I said, you can get them off the internet. Like, I know the baseball complex got one on Baskin. Yeah, Baskin North on the backside as you turn in. You can get one like that. Action put them up. Like I said, I just need direction of what you want. You just want one plain color sign, 3 or 4 rows. I mean, you can get them fairly cheap.
Well, I think maybe what we need to do is tell them how much we are comfortable spending and then let the sign be built to that.
Yeah,
And if we're doing a park sign, I think what we had originally talked about, I don't know, so long ago,
I had a park sign here.
it was all together though, wasn't it? Like the LED was part of the park sign.
Not part of the
Sally Jerry Matt Park and then the LED part now?
That's not what you instructed me.
So two separate.
It's 2 separate deals.
Okay. Because I really want it to be 2 separate deals that have a sign, park sign that was,
Well, and if you got one of these packages,
I did.
it's got the welcome to Lake City sign plus what the park sign is.
Mhm.
There's several options there too.
there's one there that has it up there like that.
That's the side of the Jerry part. That's the $40,000 sign.
That's the 40.
That's a picture of the one that for us.
That-
$40,000.
Have we previously agreed on a sign and the cost?
No.
Or it's still up, what's good?
yeah, see,
And the reason the sign did increase more than what it was originally was at 21,000 for everything. But if you have the company install that sign, if it falls out on Middle Marion Street or falls on somebody, they're liable for the sign. If we go and install it with city crews and install the bases and the footers and all that, then if something happens to that sign, then the city's on the hook for, what happens, they have certain engineer specs, how they put the sides and how the concrete goes in, how the rebar goes in, how that pole is set. It's designed by an engineer. So if you deviate from it any, we install it, not saying we can't, but if we install it, that just puts us on the hook for that sign.
So you're saying the sign was one cost and then the installation was the.
Yeah,
what
that,
they-
that includes, yes, that includes all the costs plus the ability to be able to remote, put the stuff on the letterboard from IT's office versus having to go out there and do it.
And how much was that one?
That was,
Just 21,000?
no, that was the 40,000. 21,000 was just the plain sign, sign itself. No electrical to it, no, training on it, no
Oh, okay.
concrete, no rebar, no footers, nothing. The price that I got in this packet was start to finish with remote cables, plus training and all that.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about, all one, it's all one.
Yeah, at that part, at Fannie Mae.
Yeah.
Not all rest of the parts from that.
Right, right.
Yeah, well, one thought I had and that concerned me is I think we talked about the message board, or using it as a message board to get messages out and that type of thing. And what concerned me are who are we trying to reach, with these messages? In my mind, I think we need to be looking at serving the whole city as opposed to, I'm concerned about the location of it and serving, the entire city. I think it need to be, if we're gonna have a message board, it should be kind of central located. Because if we place one on the northern end of the city, well, then the people on the south, that lives on the south side are not likely, to frequent the other end. But everybody goes downtown, pass from the east end of the city, the west, the north, and the south. And we need to look at, or I would think that the avenue of serving the greatest volume of the population, I would think.
I mean, if you're looking at that scenario, then right there where Columbia County CNB Bank is now, running south on Main Street is the best location for that. So it catches every direction.
Mhm.
But like I said, I was just instructed for this sign here. So where it's going, what I'm supposed to do.
Bless your heart.
All I need is direction. All I was told was there's a sign down there. What we're gonna do to get it put up.
Was it a big expense to have it to where it could be remotely programmed? Was that a big part of the
Yeah, I
expense?
think it's about $3,000 for.
Well, we definitely.
All this stuff that they have to have.
Yeah, I definitely would be for that.
But the blocks, you gotta have somebody go stand up under the sign and program it down there versus
Right.
remotely is what I'm, understanding. I think what's the one supposed to be in charge of the programming,
Right,
and they can just program from there, be done and ready.
definitely do that.
Well, I think it's a matter of choosing the sign that we want, and then the next thing is coming up with the money to pay for it, I guess, and where we want it at.
Yeah, this area, probably the best thing to do is figure out how much you want to spend. Go to the sign company and say, this is what we got, this is kind of what we're looking at, what can we get for this price?
Right.
Versus, we just saying.
Yeah, I think we should just select a budget and then select our must-haves. And if our budget doesn't meet our must-haves, then we might have to exceed it a little bit.
Right.
Cause it's kind of like a car. You can say you want a car, but do you want a Lexus or do you want
The Bentley.
Both ways.
You know.
Company right here, they got all kinds of signs on state contract, you can just look at and, go from there.
So
I mean, and I guess what I'm a little bit confused about is, are we sure we want a digital sign there? Was that the original? I know this has been talked about for a while, but.
I personally, I was not for it. I know that somebody spoke, and I can't remember who it was, but somebody from the community spoke and said they didn't want a digital sign because it took away from the ambiance or what would, but I was really against it at my church at St. James that's on the corner. I did not want a digital sign there, thought it took away from, but it's been such a great, place to see what's going on and being able to change the information and, if it's, I think it's a good thing, but I'm with you, Mr. Jefferson. I think it needs to be where everybody in the city
Benefit from it.
can see it, can benefit. And we'll have to have a strict policy about what can go on it, I
Okay.
can't call up and say, happy birthday, somebody or, whatever. But, personally, I'd like to see an LED sign of some sort on 90 and then nice welcome signs and a nice park sign, And I know those look good. I was real pleased with those, but it's just my opinion.
So what should be the budget for the sign to celebrate Jerry?
How much do we have in the city?
I think when we talked about the CRA budget, we kind of had 40 to 50 somewhere in there that we set aside for this sign. Yeah, wasn't that about right?
45,000.
Yeah, that's what it was, 45.
Just for that one sign. So if we did, so we could possibly do an LED sign, park signs and welcome signs all for that budget, possibly. From what you have here, it looks,
Yes, ma'am, because the other signs, the welcome signs, Lake City and the park signs ain't really that expensive. Because they're only a certain size what DOT allows to put and kind of what y'all wanna go with. And of course, then the more you buy, I think every one was less than $100 a piece. On them signs, we'll get that.
So how much were those signs all totaled?
it would be 321 to do the 4 welcome. It
Yeah.
would be
That's
6.
6. There's 2 incomes coming from the south and 2 from the things. I figured you want them on both 41s, south and north. So I just figured 6. You can drop it down.
Yeah. That'd be good because they're so cheap.
Yeah,
Six
and
of
then
those.
the poles, Works keeps in stock out there, because just regular sign poles, you just go out there and put them in. Now we have to get permission from DOT where we're going to install them, except on this in town, on one of them. But rest up in a public choice register, he's pretty much in agreement with these, because most of these are 18 by 24s, like I said, it's a simple sign. Now, if you want something like Live Oak's got, it's 2 poles, it has to be, an engineer, DOT has to look at the engineer specs on it, there's a lot more involved in it.
And then the park signs for 11 parks would be just $816.
Yes, ma'am. The website that I've been working with and got on is like, you can go on there and actually design that sign if you want to. Multiple different things you can do to it. That was just, all I did was just something simple, there's different colors, there's different outlays. So you can order these signs pretty much offline. The more you order, the more, of course, you'll get. Like there's several park signs that change the name, add the signs to it or names to it. I don't know really what they want on it, but you still only want it's like Campbell Sign Park, you still have 2 more lines that you can add something into it. I just put that. So, and the welcome signs for Lake City are the same way. You can go in there and there's a couple different fonts in there that you can go in there and change. The motion's 24 by 18 or 18 by 18. One simple pole holds it up. And they're reflected too.
Okay.
So this sign is 24 by 18
Which one?
inches.
There's a couple different sizes. Like the first 2 or 3 are 24 by 18. That's just different colors and something I come up with on the internet.
Yeah.
The last one is in blue, and another one is 18 by 24, that's opposite, and it's, you can do that. Like, they got multiple colors and price on, are different when you sign, but the more you buy, it's still less than $60 a piece. Most expensive one I looked at was before. Go from there. Same with park signs, the same thing. You can buy them, one is the Quantum Club, one of the first, that's the most expensive one, that's got more design to it.
Which one is that? Right.
Quantum Club is one that's $74.25. Now you can get the first 2 in the park, May Park. There's just different fonts there, and you can use different colors as you can see. You go from there on it. But it is a simple sign. Like I say, you got still 2 more layers of text that you can put on there if you wanted something. I don't know what all you want. Of course, it's terribly done all this. There'll be the dates that part of the design. Of course, like these signs, we too have to pay for late season sign. If you want to population on it, you can, or we can delete that.
Yeah.
I just made a number up on there.
I was thinking it grew.
I just made a number, you got 2 and zeros. I didn't want to put the wrong thing there. But these signs, like I said, are really cheap. You go out there, city crew can install in about 10 minutes. You're done, and you're out.
Is what the welcome sign you're referring to?
The welcome sign and the park sign, not LED sign.
Yeah.
The welcome to Lake City and the park sign, this is enclosed OD.
Okay.
So a uniform sign for the city of Lake City, welcome to the city of Lake City, and for the park sign, which is Celebrate Jerry, you got this one.
There's one there, you got one different colors. And then you got Campbell Park, so there's different, but a couple different colors. And then the welcome to Lake City signs are your first 4. So, and they're just different colors and stuff like that on. Now they still have one, you can look down in the packet, you can see some more colors they have. So you can look down, they got blue, green, browns. So I figure you want the park probably one color, and then welcome to Lake City signs be one color.
It's a good idea. What color?
That would be up for y'all. Ain't don't no color for most stuff.
I would even say possibly that to go with the bigger sign for the parks as well. 'Cause that's pretty teeny. Those park signs are pretty small.
Like I said, 18 by 24, you know, is
And so,
2 foot by 1.5 foot.
so that's the welcome to Lake City. And then the parks are 18 by 18.
So what parts are 18 by 18, and then, the other ones are, welcome to Lake City signs 24 by 18. So they're taller this way. Now, we you can get bigger sizes,
Mm-hmm.
but nobody told me what size they want. I met with DOT, kind of see what they was going with, kind of went to see what we had at other parks. So I mean, we can expand them, but pricing increases with them. But after you get to 36 inches, you got to have a dual pole.
So if we did the welcome signs and the park signs, all the same size, and did them 24 by 18, all of them, that would put us in a higher bracket of getting a break too, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, the 6 sides right there, I have to look back in the thing, but it would be same price that 425,
Mhm.
that is 5, 6.
So it's $20 more a sign, really.
Yeah, because it has a little more reflective than this one. It has a little more.
A little bigger.
He's talking about 3 feet by 2 feet, 36 inches.
No, if you go to 36 inches, then you have to get 2 poles in the ground, which on DOT, that park's not a problem.
Okay.
The city owns that, but on the state right of ways, there's not a whole lot of state right of ways, you can contest. We put the stuff in the ground all the time, we might have this much area, you be able to put something in. So staying with a single pole, you can pretty much get away with putting it wherever you want to, they won't leave, but when you start putting dual poles or getting the 6x6 wooden poles, and these signs don't fade either, they got like 10 or 12 year shelf life on them when you put them outside, where do some kind of wooden sign, of course, somebody got to go back and touch up, somebody's, you know, I think signs on there $1,200-$1,500. It's just, nobody giving no signs, no nothing,
I think it's great. I think the 24 by 18 for sure is, you know,
if I'm not mistaken, on the website, 24 by 24, I can double check, see if we get something like that. And they're not gonna be that much more,
mhm.
you're $10-$15 probably.
Yeah, I think that's small for Welcome to Lake City sign.
I do too.
But like I said, keep in mind on DOT, when we get bigger, then we have to go, really get before the crew. They dictate what we can put out. So some areas are gonna require you to get more easement. With this kind of sign, it's no different than putting up a stop sign or something like that. But we have to, to be able to submit to DOT, we have had the actual site that y'all want, what it's constructed of, the materials, where it's actually going with a map, all that has to be sent to them before they will even approve. Like Live Oak's gotta be, they put their way out 90, way outside the city limits, so they've got quite a bit of room. If you go to Union County, they're farther out too, where if we're trying to say where the welcome to, or the city limit signs are, there's not a whole lot of room in them areas to do something. That's why I figured with a couple different colors together, it would stand out.
Are we restricted to the city limits? Do we have to, can't go beyond the city?
Again, that's all I was given was, we're gonna put 4 signs up and we're going to different, so I just like you see them.
Mhm.
You get farther out, there's more room if you get farther out of the city, like Live Oak and Union County, places like that, they're city, so they have more room to put their stuff. You get farther outside the 90, like, you know, toward the prison and college and out there, it's not as congested, you get farther out west, it's not as congested, but then you're way outside the city limits.
Mhm.
So if you want to say welcome to Lake City, you know,
Should be coming into Lake City.
yeah,
Yeah, the boundaries should, that's the, boundaries are set by those signs, right? When you enter the city limit, you look at that sign, city limits of Lake City. But wherever the boundary is, where that sign should go, I would think. Clark Place, right?
I'm not very far off from that boundary.
that's what I figured.
100 feet.
100 feet in front, feet past.
Yeah, we probably didn't get by with that.
Like the ones west of town, they're not far from the interstate, we have to kind of judge in there where we want to put it before or after, because it's right up against the city already. South of town and west of town, probably.
Do we have any up currently, other than the one that used to be one on Bale?
City signs,
Yeah,
there's city limit signs where it's supposed to be all around.
Hmm.
There's city limit signs everywhere. 90 west, 90 east.
no, I mean the welcome sign.
Yeah, there's the one there.
One of them, yeah, that's the one that I'm aware of. It may be more.
I haven't seen one on South 441 coming into the city.
And there's not none, about the north town, just say the city limit. Like start at the hills, north.
Well, I mean, my suggestion would be just get them as big as you can get them within your parameters of not having to, you know, move mountains with DOT.
Right.
Well, they're gonna be in DOT, but like I said, more, the bigger it is.
Yeah, I think the single goal and put them near where the city limits is.
Just not a whole lot of room, everything to grow where the city limit signs are, get congested and put stuff in the ground, and you don't have that much room to sign behind the sidewalk. And you can't obstruct the sidewalk, you can't put the sidewalk in the road, so you're kind of limited of what space you're going to get. I think that's pretty Live Oak and Union is so far out.
Yeah,
They all seem the same way, it's right there when you get ready to come.
I don't think it'll make that much difference if we can set them just outside the city limits where you have more, you know, space to deal with.
Be like, well, Paul, about 2 miles outside the city, when you get past city limits, it's still congested all through there. All the way out past the trailer places on 90 West, and probably as far as the college on the east, and not so bad on the north and the south.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That just don't make it that hard to deal with DOT, just well. And on the parks, I like this Kiwanis where it's got the hours, you know, because that is an issue that we've been dealing with.
Make the choice of size that you want, then you can say what you want on there, then you, like, you actually get them printed out yourself, make it. Then you, like I said, you got 2 more tape blocks, you still put more stuff in there if you want to, without more.
I think it's just the dawn, they don't have any set hours.
And I think it's good to have there.
But Young's Park has lights, you know, on those tennis courts, right? Don't they?
They do.
Yeah.
So that would be past dusk.
But I think the rules are still supposed to be that way. We were talking about that the other day, that we probably need to, the lights stay on a little longer than that. Probably need to.
And we could tailor each sign what, we have a couple,
just leave that off that one. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like that. You can change it. Like the park sign, you can go 36 by 36. That's not a big deal down there. You see on the park.
Right.
We can put. There's
I'd like to do that,
I think it's even 36 by 36, 24
at least.
yeah.
by. I look at that.
Well, I like the 36 by the 36 for the, for the park, if we can get them.
Chair,
Yeah,
I'll make a motion of that. If we are in consensus, everybody agrees with the 36, I motion that we design those signs to that specification.
For the park.
that's for the park, right?
Yes,
Yeah, geez, that-
Or as large as you can get it on the single pole.
Okay, you put in, both of it in that one motion?
You okay with that?
pardon me. For the,
Okay, the motion you gave was, the 36 for the park,
for the city parks.
okay. And then the welcome signs,
To do my vote.
one pole,
As large as.
we're going to do
we can get
separate,
for one.
a separate motion for that?
We have to agree on the size. We don't want to make them real small. So whatever the size limit is.
But if we decide the size of it, we can put it, just one motion to cover both.
Mhm.
If we decide the size of that.
When we say it's
I'll look for it tomorrow, make sure that the 36 by 36 be all right with the middle sign. And then let you know, but I'm not gonna say that's what he said, yes, or no.
Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, the welcome signs, if they're going to be outside the CRA designated plan area, they need to be referred. You would make a recommendation straight to the city council. The park signs, I believe, are all going to be within the CRA area. And so those would be a recommendation to the CRA, subject to the administration, which would include the LDR administrator looking at the city code and working with FDOT. But again, to summarize, the welcome signs, if we're putting them outside the CRA area, plan area, then that needs to be a recommendation to the city council.
Well, then possible, all the parks are not in the CRA
Mhm.
district either.
Young's Park isn't, Campbell Park isn't.
Yeah,
I was thinking about Campbell Park. So, well, revise what I said, any parks outside the CRA development area need to go, a recommendation needs to be made to the city council, which would have authority in those areas. No, to the city council. The CRA and this committee only have powers to appropriate money within the plan area.
within the CRA district. Well, I need a motion. Perfect motion.
I did motion is that of the size of the sign for uniform in the park for 36 inches.
In the CRA district. Add that to the motion.
We want to add that to the motion.
Yeah, the CRA district. Okay, do I have a second for that?
Second.
All in favor of the motion, let's receive it by saying aye. Opposed, like sign. Motion carried.
So do we have the color now?
Mr. Jefferson,
Sorry.
that motion was for a recommendation to the CRA, correct?
Right.
Record, yes, to the CRA. That's the park sign,
So we need a motion for the welcome signs
for the
now.
welcome sign.
I make the motion that the welcome signs that are in the CRA district, because not all of them will be, the recommendation to the council would be that they would be as large as we could possibly do within DOT regulations
On the single pole.
on a single pole.
Okay, Have a second? Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor of that motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carried.
Did we come up with that color? Is that relevant?
I will let you go ahead and finish it now. Brian, you read them all the twos. Yeah, what colors we recommend? We got to decide.
I'm partial to blue, but like burgundy as well.
Some of them didn't have blue. I was
Did
looking.
the city have any colors? Was it?
I like navy blue. I like the dark background.
We certainly can't have garnet and gold.
Burgundy be
Oh, no. Burgundy?
The ones that on the like the Kiwanis Park sign come in a blue, but just not the welcome signs. Brian, can you get these in the bigger size too? Like the one that says Kiwanis Park, could those be bigger?
I believe so. I'd have to go back and double check on here. I think one more time. You can like, you can also do a custom sign, so you do them. Nah, custom sign, do more of a.
And you can't get navy blue. I mean, these are the only colors you can.
These are covered on a lot of times at the bottom,
Uh-huh.
so, now keep in mind, you could do, like where it says Quantum Club, you can change all that to what you do, like City Two if you want to.
That's what I was thinking.
So you can change all that, like the call this, you need a little emblems in the middle,
Mm-hmm.
if you just go down there. You can choose to put up there. Not that easy to design.
We appreciate you doing all this.
The only thing I say about the dark sign that we have down there is they don't stand up real good at night. People go down there and turn around, or they're down there and it's hard to get done. The signs like on the front where, that first one is, and the side of May Park kind of stand out, they have a little more reflective to them, so when light hits it, it reflects pretty good. Side of May Park, like, it's got a little different design to it right there, with the blue mold.
Well, on that centimeter, sign there, the background is white.
It's white, we got that little texture to it, it looks like a little bit off gray and bordered in blue.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought them signs, what we see at nighttime looked really good. And then like I said, welcome late to these signs coming out. But then the orange and gold. But like I said, they got hunter green down there, they got, burgundy, and then the burgundy also. Now, this is just one color. I mean, if you have a particular color you're looking for, like I said, they got custom signs. We can, I have to get a price on that. They can buy custom, these was what they kind of have, what we want on there. And get it.
I mean, if you guys aren't looking for an answer tonight, I'll help Brian with this, because it is a lot just for us to try to figure out
Yeah, let's
on the
do that.
whim and.
Yeah, let's do that.
I would trust your judgment.
Let's do it.
And we'll bring it back to our next meeting.
Now we kind of have to know what we want.
Okay, but the motion does still stand, that won't interfere with the motion, but just do a little more work on it, on the colors and the size, and bring that back. Hopefully we'll be able to finalize that at our next meeting.
Custom signs, whatever be kind of like that. Like the different navy blues and stuff like that. The 36 by 36, we put 36 by 36 on DOT plus the forest. Go that way back. bought the big sign, big sign, we're like,
But which one, Brian?
the LED for, maybe.
Well, to me, the being able to program it all, get away from it is important.
Y'all got a number you're looking at, will be taken.
For the one on 90,
No,
That's what she said. We're talking about moving it.
I thought we were talking about moving that to 90 and not doing an LED sign there. But just doing a park sign there like every park.
Mhm.
And then take that LED sign and put it on 90 where more people, from all over.
We did, talk about that, and then someone, I don't know if it was Brian, someone mentioned over on, 441.
Yeah, right there. The city owns that lot right there.
Mhm.
They can utilize a couple of different things. Putting the line sign there for,
Mhm.
the new city hall, multiple other things, whatever you want to put on there.
But my only concern was where we get the best view, was,
Well, that's the main road, everybody comes in from north, you come, you got city hall. Right now, so. Might be better.
So you're talking,
go ahead.
is that okay? If we're talking about, we had a $40,000 to $50,000 previous budget in mind. And these signs, if what we end up doing is $4,000, I mean, no. That would be,
But if
say,
the two cup signs, probably looking at maybe $1,000, $1,200 for the you won't, you're looking at less than 3,000.
mhm.
Really, say one of that for your park, your, welcome signs.
So if we could do an LED sign for 3,500, I mean, 35,000, sorry, 35,000, and, then that would keep us under our budget of 40.
With all the signs.
With all-
The signage.
And all the signage would be 40,000, all the signage for the parks and for the,
I mean,
Welcome.
this MTech company and, at the time, again, see what.
Mhm.
I think that would be our best option, because, we set a budget for it, and we don't want to, at least we know what we're working, the parameters of the budget that we're working in, and whatever we can get for that.
So $35,000, but we want it to be able to be programmed remotely.
Yeah.
Do we care that if it's multiple colors?
If we can't,
I guess we can see if we can get that for our budget, but if we can't, no.
Well, that's how I email Cody with the, and tell him what we're looking at. Get one with colors, one.
What can we get for 35,000? Yeah.
Well, I won't give him plastic.
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah.
But I tell him what we're kind of moving down a little bit. Of course, we're taking the top off that sign now, instead of having another piece on it. Bring the price down a little bit, like we go to a smaller sign. That was I think it's a 10 millimeter sign, they call it. We go down to a 4 and 8. It's, once you get them off the ground, you'll have to have that millimeter effect. You won't see the bulbs. Millimeter will bring the sign from going on the ground. Somebody's going to mess it up. You put it in there, you can take that back. That brings it back.
but we need to talk about the, pet, stations.
What the other thing I was told to look into was for the pet stations. So, two different, options down there that I found. Again, they all come with pet sign up top, it comes with the waste bag, comes with a trash can pole. You just simply put it together, go out and install it, and then you might go buy it, empties it, and give the bag back. Comes, I think, both of them come like 400 bags to them. And I figured every part on them too. I said they got, there's two different options, there's two pictures in each ones. Like the one set is $254, another set is $159. Both of them do the same thing. There's one is metal, one's got plastic.
I mean, I would just see the same ones that are like on Veteran Street.
Look at that.
They've got the same thing. I don't think it has
Does it look like either one of those?
it has the bags and the sign, but I don't think it has I think it might have like a box almost, like
They had some with some boxes, you can turn these in square, You can get a black or one a green, it's only two foot per option. You go in square, so you can, it comes with like that, some didn't have a trash can at the bottom of it, then I figured people would just stuff it back on the ground. It's just get-
Yeah, I mean, there's not gonna be as
get
many
trash back
dogs
inside that,
there.
you just pick it, whole bag of,
Yeah.
it's kind of out of my realm, all bags.
Yeah, probably a trash can.
Both of them had trash cans, one was just more of a plastic, one just, you know, for the long term, the one that's a little more expensive is more bang for your buck, because it's gonna be there for a long period of time, where, you know, plastic, no matter what it's made out of, it's gonna deteriorate. Wow.
There was a difference in total.
Well, like, one is like 1,800, the one is 2,800 for,
Yeah.
It's about $100 difference.
but that's a little price, you know, you're looking at.
I'd deal with the more expensive one, that'll last longer.
They come with more disposable bags and gloves, this, that, and like, they'll be out in the sun.
A lot of times, you know, we do that.
Eventually, you're gonna have to replace the plastic part on whatever it is. And it comes with a sign at the top, where you, what they do with it. So,
I'll make a motion that we do the option one.
Have a motion on the table, have a second. Okay. All in favor of the motion, proceed with saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Okay, the motion carries. So we got that out of the way.
Question,
Okay, Mr. McCullough.
are the dogs gonna be allowed in all parks, or are we gonna have a dog park by itself?
I think the Humane Society's doing a dog park.
I don't know where it is, still the same, like, they agree that.
Uh-huh. And it's out by the
Yeah.
Humane Society.
They're still involved.
So the dogs
They
are
can
in
do
all
it,
parks.
and then or don't allow it in the park. Just by
I
call
mean, I see them there all the time, you know, sports.
Are they on a leash, or they just
They on a leash. I think. I have a leash law. Yeah, be on the side too, if you're allowed to hold. You know, okay, on there. Don't like that.
Well, with kids running and playing and dogs running, there could be an issue, incident where the dog kind of interfered with the kid or bite somebody or whatever. I'm not saying that's gonna happen, it's a possibility.
I have no control of the park, so.
Yeah,
Whatever the rule is.
something to think about,
You have to keep your pot-bellied pig on a leash of less than 10 feet long in a public park.
Okay,
The code does not discriminate between pot-bellied pigs or dogs or cats.
Good.
So dogs, cats, and pot-bellied pigs are allowed to be in a public park or other public property, as long as they're on a leash and not longer than 10 feet in length.
very good.
Well, do that language need to be on the signage then, that they need to be on a leash? Good. How would they know?
The pigs don't know, but the dogs,
No,
good dog.
no. But I definitely would like, I favor them being on a leash if they're on one.
I know in the county it is. They
Yeah.
don't have to on these outside.
Yeah,
Sure the city has.
Mhm.
Right, right.
But
You don't have to dial off, no.
Have to be, yeah.
Sign out in the park.
Well, you can add it into these part times too, like you got more later on some of these times right here. You can add, you know, that in there up under the hours.
so we got another
All fit.
room on there, check on that too. I was
Well, you
like,
got two lines and it holds quite a bit more than what you think it does.
yeah,
It's a 2 foot by 2 foot sign, you know, it's good, or can we go to 3 foot, you know, 36 by 36. That's quite a bit. Too.
okay.
That with dust on and something that's still have to put on there. line below that.
That'd be good.
kind of know what we want in there, so, when you're working on it, you can get it in there, whatever be fine.
Well, again, what I do is go find the color you want, get one design, and bring it back to me. You can do, you know, make that what you want. Once we get the print button on, if we get these colors, they're all. Unless they come in and scratch something. And a lot of these times right here, if we buy over a certain amount, we'll get free shipping.
Okay. I think that's all the agenda items.
I have just one quick thing. Mr. Don, what's just the latest update on the, band shell?
It actually is going before the council, the next council meeting, for the engineering and all and permitting and all to start on.
Oh, good.
We got a, quote, proposal from North Florida Professional Services, and it's in the agenda for the next council meeting.
Thank you.
Okay, nothing else. Any future topic items for our future, meetings, is forward them to the sites and, to be given consideration for inclusion on our agendas. If nothing else, our next meeting is scheduled for April the 12th, 5:30, unless so notified that it has been canceled. Otherwise, we adjourn.
Thank you.
So,
Yeah, maybe accomplish a lot.
In our lifetime, we'll see you soon.